We are back on the Binance story with Binance at risk of collapsing yet again. It's always been kind of a talking point for a while now with Binance coming down. There's been a lot of people going after Binance and saying that it's game over for them. And honestly, the way that things are looking and they run their business, it does look like eventually they're going to fall, but it's going to take a while. They are the number one exchange, so being number one comes with a huge balance sheet, tons of money, and the ability to prolong yourself if you are doing a fraudulent business. If you're a fraudulent business and you just have access to so much money, then you can really keep running it for a long time without actually falling. So it seems like it might be crumbling now, though. There's been some things going on, like this here, with people not being able to withdraw their money. So this is a whole different problem that Binance is going through. You can see Binance continues to lock customers out of their accounts, and many more unable to withdraw their cash or crypto. So it's both, saying get out before it's too late. So obviously, if you have any money on Binance, anything at all, just take it off, right? Why run the risk? This has always been the talking point for the whole time with any crypto exchange, anything. If you have money on the exchange, just take it off. Why risk it? Why put it in a spot where if something does happen, you could lose it all? Take it off. You know, self custody your crypto. It should be Bitcoin, but self custody or take your money off and just make sure that you are not exposed to something should something go wrong. And looking at this, this is the message someone tweeted here, right? They can't withdraw anything. Your account's in a state of restricted withdrawal. This says it could be violations of their TOS or many different reasons for a restriction, which obviously is not something you want to hear with your money, right? Imagine your bank just said, no, you're not allowed to move money. It's restricted. And there's a lot of reasons why it could be restricted, and we can't tell you. Like, no one would be happy with that, right? And apparently, this is also happening with Bitcoin, right? If you have Bitcoin and you want to withdraw that, they're not allowing people to move that, which is like the number one signs that something wrong is happening. And if you look down here, you can see someone saying like, I have zero issue with drawing, please don't FUD, which is always such an insane thing for me to think that people have this mindset, right? Saying, oh, don't FUD, don't FUD. But like, if Binance is a legitimate company, then there's no FUD that can take it down, right? Fear, uncertainty, doubt. There is nothing somebody else could say that would destroy a multi-billion-dollar company for a tweet. If your company can't withstand a tweet, then something wrong is going on. But for withdrawing, apparently this is the way to withdraw. So, I mean, Wall Street Journal has a story on it saying the biggest player in crypto is facing risk over Russia. Because apparently, I guess they're helping Russians move money, which is obviously against the sanctions. So that makes the US, UK, those guys mad. So they get kicked out of banking there. They just get a multitude of problems from that. And this is saying that, Binance has no banking ability and you can go through their P2P service. And then, imagine withdrawing through P2P and finding out that you were paid with a bank account that was hijacked. So I guess there's some worries there, right? Where if you can't go through the traditional banking system where everything is kind of more legit and you're not going to be looked at suspicious because it's gone through the checks and things, where it could go through Binance's peer to peer, but then you could be getting funds from a suspicious area or a hacked account or hijacked account or stolen stuff. And no one wants to deal with that headache, right? It's just something crazy is happening with Binance, and the fact that there is people not able to withdraw their money and it's just sitting there, and then maybe you have an option to withdraw your money through their peer-to-peer stuff, but that could be coming from illicit sources. Then you just dirty yourself, and then you have a headache trying to prove that you weren't doing anything illegal and got caught up in this Binance mess. It's crazy to see all of this continuing to play out. And like we said, Binance is number one. So if they are running a fraudulent business, which it's leaning more towards that way every day that CZ is tweeting and talking about stuff, then, it's going to collapse at some point, but it could take a long, long time to get there, which might be a good thing if it takes longer, right? It might be good to prolong it just so that people can pull their money out and pull their Bitcoin off and take their money to make sure that they get it back so they don't lose it all. Because if this happens really quickly and Binance just collapses overnight, then anyone who's stuck in there probably lost the vast majority of their money, just like these other platforms like BlockFi and Celsius and Voyager and all these things and FTX. People are going to either wait many, many years to get their stuff back, and even if they get something back, they might get 20%, 30% back if they're lucky. Like, it's just not worth it. And we do have the warning signs coming out here. You can see CZ's tweeting some stuff similar to some other characters who were running pretty big Ponzi fraudulent businesses. See here, CZ confirms that, yeah, we are selling assets to prevent BNB from going below 212, which was the point of the original claim. Binance's FTT moment coming right up. When you see a crypto CEO sub-replying to tweets like this, it's a good idea to get out, just saying. And CZ does himself no favors. So this is his tweet here. Took me a while to understand. If I vaguely understand now, Marty's worried about a $120 million worth rebuy of BNB. Maybe he should check the last BNB burn or the Seifu insurance fund size. So basically talking about buying back this Binance token. So it's trying to maintain a price because at some level there's a massive liquidation thing against, I think, Binance on BNB token because they did something with it, right? It's probably the vast majority of their balance sheet, just like FTX had the vast majority of their balance sheet in FTT token. So this looks like a recipe for disaster. If you look at similar other tweets, you can see Caroline Ellison here saying the balance sheet breaks out a few of our biggest long positions. Obviously have hedges. Given the tightening crypto credit space this year, we've returned most of our loans by now. So, everything's good. Nothing to worry about. What happened to Alameda? It collapsed. It was a Ponzi. It was going bad, connected to FTX, collapsed. So not someone you want to be in company with. And also Celsius guy here, Alex Mashinsky. Celsius lends on DeFi when yields are high, borrows on DeFi when yields are low. Celsius is earning income from these activities. Instead of making baseless allegations, why don't you just ask a question and get a straight answer? And we all know what happened to Celsius. Gone, went under, bankrupt, people losing their money. So you don't want to be in this company, right? When you see these crypto CEOs subtweeting like this says and talking like they're saying that the people are wrong and everything's good and everything's just so amazing. Why would anyone question this when they're worried about FUD? Then they don't have a great business, right? Because a tweet should not be able to collapse your business. If a tweet can bring down your entire company, then your company is not very good. And this is the chart of BNB token. You can see the massive $42 here in 2021. Massive run up to $631 very quickly. And now the price is at 209, which is below what was the 212. But with that rebuy of BNB, maybe they lowered their margin requirements. Who knows where this price is actually heading to or where the margin price is. But at some point, no one's really buying BNB. The biggest buyer of BNB is Binance, more than likely. So if they are continuing to sell customer assets to buy this and hold this peg to some place so that they don't have to get liquidated or have a major margin loan crisis on their hands, at some point, they're going to either run out of money or customers are going to see this, want to take their money off. That depletes their assets they can use. That makes them run out of money quicker. And then at some point, this thing just collapses because it's a fraudulent business, not a legitimate one. So if Binance is a fraudulent business, then they will eventually collapse. They're not going to be able to last forever being fraudulent. We've seen that with companies like FTX, Celsius, Voyager, BlockFi. The more risk you take, and even like BlockFi and Voyager, these things weren't necessarily fraudulent, but they ran a bad business. So it doesn't even have to be fraudulent. It can just be a poorly run business. But in Binance's case, maybe leaning more towards the fraudulent one here. But at some point, it will fall. And even SBF said when FTX was collapsing because CZ pulled the rug on them, he said that Binance is doing the same thing FTX is doing. just that they have a bigger balance sheet, so they win right now. That's gonna do it for this video. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next